Alright, we are on the play with Rug Delver, and this hand isn't great. I think it's a mulligan, so we're gonna get rid of it. In the dark, I don't really like 4 lands, even if we have a threat and 2 very good pieces of disruption. This hand, I think, is more reasonable given that it's a 6. Spreading Seas on top is probably going to be shuffled away anyways, so let's leave that where it is. I'm thinking turn 1 Delver, possibly turn 2 Mandrills, with some assistance from a Thought Scour. So let's nab ourselves a basic island and get going. The second Mandrills is pretty unfortunate, but we'll probably cast it eventually. We'll hopefully cast it eventually. Delver probably dies here. Ooh, Ancestral Vision. Okay, so the game plan is to kill them before that happens. Snapcaster Mage isn't something we want to reveal or something we want to draw. Especially when our game plan is probably... Is the second island better? Debatably. There's a lightning bolt. Our opponent is apparently on a blue-red something deck. Probably control because we just saw an Ancestral Vision. We'll get a Stomping Ground. I guess I didn't have to do that right away, but they have no way of interacting with us most likely. Let's get in for the 1. And do that. Get rid of these cards. I think I'd rather have the 3rd land before the Huntmaster, the Snapcaster, given that we only had 2 lands. So I'm pretty happy with milling Snap and drawing Basic Island. I didn't want to draw Basic Island, but I knew I didn't want to draw Snap. This is probably a Jeskai sort of deck. I believe Jeskai is just about the only one that main decks Ancestral Vision. There's the Grixis tip-off. A second Ancestral Visions goes on to suspend, and they bolt our Delver. Well, that'll certainly help get the Mandrills going. Wow, we're just going to do it, right? We're absolutely just going to do it. It doesn't speed up our clock by 2 turns, which is a little sad. Can we actually play this Mandrills this turn? I believe we can. We could even use the Bolt, but I think I'd rather keep that. For now, at least. Breeding Pool, Goyf. Do we shock? I definitely want to slam Mandrills. I just don't know if I want to shock. Probably. Doesn't seem particularly bad. Lightning Bolt would put them at 1 if both of these Mandrills get to connect. So that'll be at least somewhat unfortunate. If they don't have a roadblock soon, they won't be using those Ancestral Visionses. Land, go? That's acceptable. At least from my perspective. From their perspective, they probably don't like it at all. Second Lightning Bolt is super unfortunate because we just got punished for not using the first one. They would be dead assuming they have 0 interaction. Snapcaster Mage probably combined with a Bolt. Yeah, that's the game plan. They're going to take 1 less, that's 7. These 2 bolts will still do the trick. That's absolutely fine. I just want to see the opponent tap out before we cast our bolt at their face. Yeah, we may as well wait for all this stuff to happen. Nothing wrong with that. Yup. Yada yada yada. Damage occurs. Opponents at 5. Let's make them go to 2. And it is disappointing that we won't get to kill them immediately. I don't know if it's right to bolt them on the turn prior before we slam the second mandrills. I instinctively don't like it in case they have something boltable, but I guess it's at least somewhat unlikely for them to have something like that. Although if we didn't draw the second bolt, bolting their Snapcaster Mage becomes at least somewhat relevant. Thought Scour's fine. They're probably digging into something to deal with this mandrills. I'd be pretty happy to see them tap out here. Show me like a terminate. Oh, they shock. Losing on their own terms, sure. I can respect that. What is good against Grixis? I'm assuming that was Grixis control. I don't think Grixis Delver mains the Ancestral Visions, and I don't think Grixis Death Shadow has Ancestral Visions or Dark Slick Shores? Dark Slick Shores. So against that kind of Grixis deck, I like Snapcaster. I probably want the basic mountain subbing in for Breeding Pool. I don't like Engineered Explosives, because against non-Shadow Grixis decks, the whole CMC thing is all over the place and hard to get. Like the Moons, don't like the Pyroclasms, love Huntmaster, and I don't think we want Artifact Enchantment Hate. These 9 seem good, let's throw them over here. Cards that seem less good. Curiosity could be good against mid-range, let's cut a couple of Lightning Bolts. Renegade seems at least decent. We won't cut it right away, probably going to cut 1 Mandrills and a number of Scours, most likely all of them. Dismember seems excellent. Disrupting Shoal gets a lot worse with those blue card or non-blue cards coming in. Mountain is less relevant because I'm doing that. We actually will probably keep the Curiosity because we're cutting these Disrupting Shoals. I think I like the rest of these cards here. And maybe we bring a Lightning Bolt back in. I don't really want the Mandrills. The Scours I'm comfortable with leaving out entirely. Let's get another Lightning Bolt in here and run that. I wonder how our instant sorcery levels went to. Looks like 26. I'm not super happy with that, but I'm pretty okay with it given how much removal they're going to run. Delver's main job post-board is to just die. Although it did that in that game as well, so maybe Delver's job in these matchups is just to die? Of course, that bolt wasn't super relevant that game. Their bolt, of course. Our bolts were excellent. Let's see what our opponent has for us. We're on the Blood Moon plan and the Big Threats plan. Now, post-board, this kind of hand is much better. I will keep, because I'm looking to curve into Huntmaster. So if we go turn 1, we're not going to be able to snare on 1 because they won't play any 2-drops. But if we could, that'd be good. We'll probably just lead with a fetch land. Traverse, sure. And I assume we just run out the Goyf on our second turn, even if they have Spell Snare up. Because Goyf is pretty likely to die. And if it does die, it fuels Delirium and Mandrills. Oh, this is interesting. They might not actually have Goyf removal good to go. Or maybe they just don't have the mana for it. Because of the 2 fetches still in our hand, I think we get a dual land tapped here. Steam Vents, because it's the only dual left, given that fetches aren't technically duals. Let's get that tapped. Now, they're probably going to snare a Goyf, or they're at least representing it. Curving it to Huntmaster makes me pretty happy. I do think I just want to slam the Goyf, though. Question is, should we get a basic forest at this stage of the game, or just shock? I think I want basic forest to make sure that if we draw Blood Moon on our next turn, we can cast it. So let's play this Goyf. Probably just dies. Yep, doesn't even hit the table. That is okay. 2 card types. 2 card types. It's a start. That vision is going to resolve, but I don't think we even had a chance to kill them that quickly. Especially not with this hand. just in general, I don't think they're going to die that early. Second Goyf with Snare up seems pretty good. So let's go for that. If they have Snare, which they do, we can't fight it. But we at least would be able to get a mana leak or something, so that's not too bad. I'm hoping to snare something on their turn. Scour. We can't deal with that. We could have fetched and played Mandrills. Actually, that would require us to get another green source. And we don't actually have another fetchable green source, so never mind. We could not do that. We would have had to gone with the Stomping Ground, which means not holding up Spell Snare. I wonder which line's better. Going for Mandrill's backup or Spell Snare backup. Looks like the opponent will have at least some blue mana if/when we get that Blood Moon down. And it's pretty unlikely that Huntmaster will survive any length of time once they fill their hand back up. But that's just going to be the first of many threats. We already saw two. We're going to be going with Mandrills, some Huntmaster action. Eventually the goal is to overwhelm them. Tasigur is pretty good. I think we just get a basic island. Worst comes to worst, we could always traverse the basic island up if there is a Blood Moon. Yep. They're holding up 3 mana. I have no idea why they would hold up exactly 3, as opposed to paying more delve. They have blue, so maybe 2 counterspells. Let's fetch. I think I would rather get a basic island than, say, another Steam Vents. So that's what we'll do. There's the Blood Moon. So we can go Blood Moon, Mandrills. I don't really want to play Mandrills before Traverse. This is showcasing some of the awkwardness between the 2 cards. We can play Huntmaster, we can play Blood Moon, we can play Blood Moon Hoots. Blood Moon Hoots sounds at least somewhat appealing, but I want blue and green up for Hooting Mandrills if we do that, and if we play Mandrills, we're pretty behind on the whole Traverse plan, but maybe we need to play to the board more. If Huntmaster gets countered, I'll be pretty sad, but I don't think it's likely for them to have counters that actually hit this Huntmaster. Grixis doesn't usually run that sort of thing. Spell Snare, maybe some Counter Squalls. Those are the most common ones you'd see. So I think Huntmaster is a pretty safe play. It's almost certainly going to die, but at least we'll get some ETB value out of it. Get our 2-for-1. The opponent's 3-for-1ing us on their next turn, so I would very much like to get that done. Ancestral Vision will be coming off. I guess the opponent's considering casting some spells. Maybe they're just AFK. Not sure. On our next turn, what are we going to be doing? If they kill Huntmaster, we don't get more card types. I think next turn we're going to go for the Blood Moon. See if we can get Enchantment in the bin. I'd really like to get this Spell Snare into the graveyard as well. But we haven't had much of a chance for that. Snapcaster Mage would be a good shot, but they're just flashing it in. That's fine. Maybe they're expecting to have more mana than they can use on their next turn. They've been hitting land drops perfectly fine, so I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. I like that they're only going up to 5 cards as opposed to 7. When the opponent visions back up to 7, then it gets kind of scary. When they're at 5 cards, it's a little less likely that they have all the removal they could possibly need. They still probably have it, but it's just a little less likely. Makes us feel a bit better. Bolt on Huntmaster, yup. I'm not sure if we want to block the Tasigur with the token. Fatal push the token, wow. So that was a just straight up 2-for-1 and gain a couple life. They no longer have blue lands up. If the opponent plays a blue source, maybe we'll be a little concerned with that Blood Moon play. But as is, it's looking very attractive to go Blood Moon Traverse, get a Huntmaster, and start taking over the game while they can't really cast their spells too well. And since we got a land, we can actually Traverse, Mandrills, and Blood Moon. This will get us a basic island. So our mana's great. There's not really anything they can do to counter. We want to use that green first. Oh no! I borked it. That's okay. I forgot that we weren't actually very close to having Delirium online. We will, of course, be getting farther from having Delirium online. But, yeah. That was a mistake. Let's get rid of the second Goyf. So at least we have 3 card types in the bin. That's good. We could have held off on that Traverse, though, and held up this Spell Snare, which could have theoretically been good. Probably not. We are behind on the race. I was really counting on a Huntmaster to save us. And we actually can't even have Huntmaster at this point, unless we just top deck it. And it would be pretty unlikely for us to hit Delirium in time to tutor out the Huntmaster. So I actually think we were just in a very bad spot there. Playing Traverse there was almost certainly not the right play. Forgetting about Delirium was really bad. But I don't think we had many good ones. You probably play Hoots, leave these 2. They almost certainly have a bolt, but we're on the back foot. So we're gonna block anyways. Kolagon's command. Sure. Make us discard a mountain. Or we could discard the Spell Snare. It's unlikely they can profitably Snapcaster Mage at this point. Yeah, let's discard the Spell Snare. Maybe Traverse becomes slightly better. We're really far on the back foot, folks. We're in a terrible spot. What do we have? That's really bad. Maybe I should have boarded that out. At least a number of them. Seems good, though. Seems good. Looks like we're gonna die. We did show our opponent a bunch of stuff as well, which is a little sad from an information standpoint. But what are you gonna do? They also have plenty of burn spells that kill us outright, so I'm not expecting to survive here. If they don't have any such burn spells, we might be okay somehow. We do have Denial. If they let Goyf resolve, we can counter a burn spell. And we can also counter a lot of removal. So we're not dead yet. We're just probably dead. Probably. Huntmaster is still a very live top deck. We're going to counter that very, very quickly. The next one will kill us. Unless we get another Denial. That's always possible. Maybe we draw Mana Leak while they don't have another land. It's possible. What card types? Instant sorcery, creature, land? None of the fun ones for Goyf. Just the standard 4/5 ones. Kinda lame. Be cool if we could see some Spreading Seas. Maybe a Tarfire hit the bin. Second Tasigur. pretty much spells doom for us. And they can cast it off of this excellent land that is the basic swamp. Let's shrink this graveyard. We don't need to see all of that. They probably don't even bother attacking. Doesn't seem like it matters much. Oh! I forgot about that. Tasigur is legendary. I wonder why they did that. Oh, they forgot too. That's funny. That is very funny. Oh, it looks like we have Delirium now. That's right, discarding the Spell Snare. Okay, okay. Mandrills is not what we wanted. We're going to play this mountain because they know about it. I suppose we could have kept it for... do I play around Mana Leak? We have 5 cards in the bin. We can play around Mana Leak or us drawing Traverse. I think we'd rather keep our graveyard strong. We could get in here for 4 and then just block with the Hooting Mandrills when they attack. But I don't think the 4 damage is worth it. I'd rather save Mandrills for when we top deck something like a Vapor Snag, bounce their Tasigur, and get in for a good chunk before they can do anything again. That would take out half their life total. That would be pretty good. If we top... No, Dismember's bad. I was thinking we top deck Dismember, we deal with Tasigur. Not much of an option at this point. So we're hoping to draw Snapcaster Mage. Not much, because that would require us to, if we wanted to flashback Traverse, Traverse leaves the graveyard when it hits the stack. So there will only be 3 card types here. Won't be able to flash it back. Drawing Traverse or Huntmaster, pretty good. I'd rather have the Huntmaster. Drawing that is awful. This is going to be bad, because we need to kill them before they draw more burn. And that's a deck with Lightning Bolts and Kolaghan's commands. And if they have a basic island, they can get some Snapcaster Mage Kolaghan's command going, which will kill us. Snap Bolt also does it. Serum Visions is a pretty good draw. Makes me glad we have the second island. What do we got? Renegade. Look at that, and there's a Vapor Snag and a Traverse. Oh my! Oh my! Okay, so do we want both of these? I know I want Vapor Snag. Do I want Traverse the Ulvenwald? Probably. Probably. I want Vapor Snag first, I think. For now, we're just gonna slam this Renegade. We have a 17-turn clock. Not actually what we're looking for here. But Death Touch makes it harder for them to attack, so that's good. Not super relevant given that we're about to Vapor Snag and get in for 9 total if you count the loss of life. So Renegade's just gonna attack. We don't have... That's disappointing. We Vapor Snag this. I was thinking if we had a Bolt, maybe we Traverse out a Snapcaster Mage and come pretty close to killing them. They don't have a blue source, so I'm going to attack with everything. I was considering holding Renegade back to block flashed-in Snapcaster Mages, but that isn't a thing. This Blood Moon won the game, in case anyone was wondering. Blood Moon absolutely won this game. Chandra... Blood Moon almost won us the game. That is a top deck here. Wow. That's fantastic. We're dead. They exile the top card of their library and elect to not cast it. We lose 2 life. Fantastic. Now we're on the play. What gets better or worse on the play? Is it possible we want more scour stuff? I'm inclined to say no. I almost just want to run this back. It looks pretty good. Maybe we cut Curiosity. It's a really bad top deck. We're probably going to get into top deck mode. Do something like that. I could roll with that. I could roll with that. On the play again, with a very keepable hand. We will. Spell Snare, of course, is trouble. Start with the Tarn. Get a Steam Vents tapped. Hopefully they play a Serum Visions or Suspend. That'll do. This Goyf is going to... Oh, that's really unfortunate. If we slam Goyf, it's just a 1-2 and Bolt can kill it. That makes me really sad. Now we have the option to get it in under a Spell Snare, but it won't survive Bolt. So what do we play around? I guess we'll find out when we draw a card. It's gonna be a Steam Vents here. If Blood Moon doesn't resolve, I would like to have double blue. I think we just run the Goyf out. Makes it likely that if they do bolt the Goyf, we can resolve Blood Moon. And Blood Moon Huntmaster seems good. Plus, it's entirely possible they just don't have the bolt. So, I think that's a good play. I don't know. We're gonna run it out. See what happens. Maybe they have it. Maybe they don't. Visions. Either they are slow rolling it or they don't have it. Or maybe they're scrying to see their options. If they don't do anything and we play Blood Moon, they suspended another Ancestral Vision. This is going to get very messy. We can't do anything with Denial, so we're going to get a basic island and play Blood Moon. Let's do that. Them getting an island was good for them. And let's chip in for 2. Go to us. Clock plus Moon is pretty good. Goyf is about as bad a clock as Goyf can be against anything but like a resolved Rest in Peace. 2 power is not much of a clock. Wow, good basics, sir. Did they fetch out the island or was that natural? That was all natural. Good on you. So they can play their spells this time, which means this game will be significantly harder. They're holding stuff up. Maybe they're playing around Huntmaster. Another fetch is pretty bad here. I think we just get in there. At least we made Snapcaster bad. That's good. What are the chances that they actually have it? Ooh, now they don't have a counterspell for sure. But are they blocking? What are... Oh, now that it's a 2/3, is there... No, there's a sorcery. So the game plan is snap, bolt, block. Just like with the Mandrills, it looks like. Or they just wanted a Snapcaster Mage. But it looks like they're going to block, which makes me very much want to resolve a Huntmaster. Oh! Or we blow them out. That sounds better. That sounds better. Goyf is no longer a miserable clock. And let's play an island. We don't get to resolve the Huntmaster this turn, which I did want to do while they were tapped out, but getting a 4/5 is also pretty damn good. Hey, second Huntmaster, how you doing? Good to see ya. We'll hit for 4. Do we play around Damnation? Probably not. And I'm pretty happy to lose the first Huntmaster to Damnation if it means the second Huntmaster wins us the game. Let's go to their turn. Vision's going off. So they are gassing right up. Their mana's at least somewhat constrained, which is good for us. And we're also way ahead on board. There we go. That's a concession. That was pretty fun. Game 2 was dicey. Game 1 went far better than I expected. And Game 3 was a good old clock, blood moon, grindy threat. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.